The physician involved in Tennessee's failed attempt to execute Tony Carruthers says he expects to oversee the execution of Christa Pike. And Pike's attorneys tried to get the court to reopen her evidentiary hearing after that disclosure. The judge said no. To understand why Pike's attorneys considered that significant, we have to go back to May 2026 and Tennessee's attempted execution of Tony Carruthers. The execution was stopped after the medical team was unable to establish the required intravenous access. Tennessee's own Department of Corrections said the team successfully established a primary foreline, but could not establish the required backup line. A central line was then attempted. According to the department, that procedure was unsuccessful. Governor Bill Lee granted Carruthers a 1-year reprieve. The physician involved was Dr. Mark Fowler. According to reporting based on Fowler's previous deposition testimony, he had not placed a central line in more than a decade. That detail would soon become particularly important in Christa Pike's case. Carruthers survived the execution attempt. His sister later alleged in a formal complaint that he suffered a stroke and partial paralysis following the failed procedure. Those allegations should not be confused with an independent medical finding that the execution attempt caused his condition. Carruthers and his attorneys have also described the attempted execution as physically painful and traumatic. Then came a major development. On August 14th, Fowler confirmed to WSMV that he expected to serve as the physician for Christa Pike's planned September 30th execution. This was the same physician whose involvement in the Carruthers execution attempt had already become the subject of litigation and public scrutiny. Fowler's role had also attracted national attention. An investigation by The Guardian identified him in reporting about the physicians who participate in Tennessee executions. There is no verified photograph of Fowler among the assets supplied for this report, so case file reports will not substitute or generate an image of him. 3 days after Fowler's public confirmation, Pike's attorneys returned to court. On August 17th, they filed a motion for emergency relief to reopen the evidentiary hearing. They sought to put additional evidence before Special Master W. Mark Ward concerning the physician expected to participate in Pike's execution and his involvement in the failed Carruthers procedure. Special Master Ward denied the request. His reasoning included an important distinction. Fowler's public statement that he expected to participate did not establish that he would ultimately be selected for Pike's final execution team. The state formally selects members of that team closer to the execution. So, while Fowler publicly identified himself as the expected physician, the court did not treat his eventual participation as established fact. That leaves an unusual sequence of events. A physician involved in an unsuccessful central line attempt during one Tennessee execution publicly says he expects to participate in the state's next high-profile execution. Pike's attorneys respond by asking the court to reopen the evidence, and the court refuses the request to reopen. Christa Pike remains scheduled for execution on September 30th, 2026. Whether Fowler ultimately serves on the final execution team remains an important distinction to watch. Case file reports will continue following the court filings and any developments leading up to Christa Pike's scheduled execution. Subscribe for updates as this case moves forward.